If fat loss seems way harder than it should, it's more than likely not your exercises, but the foods that you're eating. Also, hi, if you're new here, my name is Nicole. I'm an online fitness coach and a mom to many. I make food, fitness, and motherhood content. When it comes to fat loss, the truth is food is not the enemy, and there's foods that make it way easier. There's also foods that can make it way harder. So today I'm going to be breaking down my top 8 foods to make fat loss easier. They are not going to be these plain, boring diet foods. They're going to be things that are realistic that you can incorporate into your day-to-day diet. These are going to be some staples that I recommend that are going to keep you full, keep you on track without overcomplicating things. These are not going to be in a particular order, so let's jump into the list. Number 1 is going to be eggs. Eggs are packed with so much high-quality protein and vitamins and minerals. Not only are they cheap and super easy to access, but they're so versatile. Omelets, egg bake, can boil them for on the go. A couple hacks that I like to add in with my eggs, especially if you're just eating eggs alone in the morning and you want to get more protein. A couple things that I will add are things like lean ground beef or cottage cheese. You can also blend the cottage cheese if you have like a cottage cheese ick, or you can also add egg whites to your eggs for more volume. These are personally things that I do when I'm having eggs, just to add a little bit more protein. Okay, number 2, Greek yogurt. There's not a shopping trip that I go on without getting Greek yogurt. Specifically, I like the Greek Dannon Light and Fit, the vanilla flavored one, or the Oikos Pro vanilla flavored Greek yogurt. This is another super easy way to get your protein in. I use Greek yogurt for a lot of sweet treat desserts because I have a sweet tooth, whether it's doing a yogurt bowl with granola and fruit, drizzle of honey. Personally, one of my favorite things to do is I take a Greek yogurt bowl, I add chocolate chips and a little bit of Cool Whip. It is literally so good. It curbs my sweet tooth every single time. And like I said, Greek yogurt is an awesome substitute in a lot of high protein recipes. Definitely a staple. Okay, number 3 is going to be any type of lean protein. Maybe seeing a little bit of a pattern here that I'm gearing more towards high protein foods. That's because when you're trying to lose body fat, the goal should be to eat as much as you can and still lose body fat. But just because you want to be eating as much as you can doesn't mean that you should just eat anything. You want to have foods that are going to keep you satiated and full longer, which is going to be protein and fiber. So specifically number 3 is lean proteins, because if you have things like chicken breast or a whitefish or ground turkey, ground chicken, even deli turkey is fine. They're usually lower in calories because of the lower fat content than something like pork or full fat ground beef. So for example, if you wanted to get ground beef but you wanted to get a leaner option, you can look at the packaging and usually it'll say something like 80-20. 80-20 is pretty standard. That's pretty much what all burgers are made out of, which means it's 80% lean and 20% fat. And if you're looking for a leaner ground beef, you can go with something like 93-7. It means it's 93% lean and 7% fat. Obviously way lower on the fat content. Okay, number 4 is going to be high volume veggies. High volume veggies are things like broccoli, zucchini, cucumber, leafy greens, Brussels sprouts. These are relatively low in calorie and super high in fiber, so you can eat a lot without adding extra calories, and the fiber is going to help keep you full longer. I really like to do big bowls of things, and a way I'll add more volume or feel like I'm eating much more is just adding a bunch of vegetables. No, we're not just talking about shredded lettuce here. All of those leafy greens are also packed with micronutrients and just better for your overall health. Okay, piggybacking off of that with number 5 is going to be berries. Strawberries, blueberries, blackberries, raspberries. They're sweet, but they're also way lower in sugar than most fruit. No, I'm not going to be the one that tells you not to eat a banana because it's too high in sugar. It's just a pretty ridiculous statement to say. But also berries tend to be higher in fiber and lower in calories. So again, you can add more without adding all of these extra calories to your meals. If you're super snacky, having some berries that are already prepped in the fridge that you can just pour into a bowl and kind of eat like mindlessly be super helpful if you have a sweet tooth or like a midday snack craving. Super easy to add to smoothies or a topping for your yogurt. Okay, number 6, and this one may surprise you, but potatoes. Potatoes are an amazing weight loss food. White potatoes, baby potatoes, sweet potatoes, purple potatoes, they are one of the most filling carb sources, and they're going to keep you more satisfied than a rice would. You also get so much more potato and compared to rice for your calories. I'll show a comparison here of what I mean. Potatoes are also super cheap and super easy to prep. Not to mention they're versatile. French fries, mashed potatoes, roasted potatoes, and they're super easy to bulk prep in big batches. Definitely one of my favorites. Okay, number 7 is going to be beans or lentils. A lot of my vegetarian clients do tend to have a harder time getting in protein. Beans and lentils are always a go-to when it comes to that. To get a little extra boost of protein and again, fiber, this helps keep your blood sugar stable, which also means less cravings. Again, cheap, filling and super versatile. Adding it to burritos, adding it to soup, adding it to salads, using it as a dip. This is super helpful to add variety to your meals, and especially if you're a vegetarian and have trouble getting your protein in. Okay, number 8 is gonna be a bit of a bonus. Number 8 is gonna be protein powder. The reason I wanted to add protein powder is because it's a convenience food, and in today's society, that's usually what we gravitate towards, convenience. So it's portable and fast, smoothies, shakes, throwing it in Greek yogurt. And if you're someone who struggles with getting 100% of your protein goal through whole foods, protein shakes can be super, super helpful. I would definitely not rely on protein shakes to get most of your protein in throughout the day. You always want to lean more towards whole food sources. But if you need an extra boost, 25, 30 grams, find a high quality protein to use, and it's definitely an easy way to fill those gaps. So if you notice the theme today with a lot of the foods, they are cheap, they are versatile, and they are high protein and high fiber. I think a lot of the times when it comes to fat loss, we tend to overcomplicate it. We try to go on Pinterest and make these magnificent meals that are 18 ingredients that are unrealistic, or we go on the other end of things and try and cut everything out, cut a food group out, cut sugar out, cut carbs out. It's just not something that you need to do. So there you have it. Those are 8 foods that are gonna make fat loss immensely easier. Remember, it's not about eating perfectly, it's about finding alternatives, finding foods that keep you full and satisfied for longer, and staying consistent long term. You're not gonna stay consistent if you hate the way you eat. If you found this video helpful, definitely give it a like and subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!